Hello fam, welcome back again to my channel, The Online Cook. I hope everybody is doing well. Today, we are making Nigerian fish pie filling. You are going to love this easy fish pie filling recipe. It is so easy and delicious that the outcome is simply outstanding. Now let's get started. I'll start by boiling my mackerel fish with just water and a half teaspoon salt. While the mackerel fish is boiling, I'll continue this cooking process by cleaning my already peeled potatoes. After cleaning everything, the next thing I would do is to cut them into required sizes. For this first potato, I'll decide to cut them into thinner slices. There are two methods or two ways to do this. Either the potatoes are cut into thinner slices as can be seen, or they are cut into two. There's a reason for this, and I'll explain much later in the video. After cutting the potatoes, I'll clean my workspace to get it ready for the next ingredients. As I said, this is a delicious fish pie recipe, and it is so rich in taste and flavor, which means the ingredients are necessary. The second ingredient that I'll be cleaning is my carrots. The one I just showed you has been cleaned. Why this one has not been cleaned? So I'll be using the carrot that has not been cleaned to show you how I clean my carrot. This is how I do it. First, I cut off the top and then the bottom. Next, I use the sharp part of the knife to scrape off the top layer of the carrot. I do this until everything is properly scraped off, and that's it. That's how I clean my carrot. After scraping everything off, I'll proceed to rinse the carrot, and my carrot is ready for this fish pie filling recipe. Now it's time for the next thing. With the carrots, I would also be cutting them into smaller sizes. This is to make it much easier much later in the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As always, I'll clean the workspace to get it ready for the next ingredient. This is my next ingredient, the boiled mackerel fish. Now it's time to remove all the bones. For anybody who is not familiar with mackerel fish, or who is not proficient in cooking with or eating mackerel fish, I'll suggest to use this tail area for this recipe. This is because the tail contains less bone, which makes it easier to remove the bones and safer to cook. But if you are familiar with mackerel, you can use the tail and this middle part that I am deboning. But as I continue, you would see how long it would take me to remove all the bones in the middle part, and then you would understand the reason why I would suggest that for anybody who is not used to or who is not familiar with cooking mackerel or eating mackerel, it is highly advisable to use just the tail and not the middle, and definitely not the head of the mackerel fish, because the head of the mackerel fish is a no-go area. This is because it contains so much bones, like too many, and it's not even something that I would advise. As you can see, I am not using the head here. I'm only using the tail and the middle. And the reason why I'm using the middle is because I am familiar with cooking mackerel fish as well as eating it, so I have an idea of where the bones would be. So all I'm doing is I'm simply going to those areas to remove the bones, which makes it quite easy for me. Although removing the bones takes a lot of time, but because of my familiarity with this type of fish, I can do it. Now, this is all I took out of the fish. I'll set it aside and proceed to the next ingredient, which is onions. I'll proceed to peel off the skin of the onions. Then I'll cut it into a more, I'll cut it into a more workable size before I proceed to chop it with my vegetable slicer. I'd like to use this small kitchen gadget. I would always love to use it because it makes my cooking faster and easier. Now, after chopping the onions, I'll pour everything into a separate bowl. Then I'll proceed to chop my potatoes with it. Now, here is what I like to explain. The first slices that I cut the potatoes in, that's the 5 slices, it's much easier to chop, but with the two slices, that's cutting the potato into just two, it takes a lot of effort. So you can decide to make a choice regarding how you want to cut your potatoes. Now I'm cutting the carrots into halves because I have decided to make it much more easier for me. And like I said, I always like to make cooking easy for me and also for you by sharing my recipe. So I'll use the vegetable slicer once again to cut my carrots into small sizes, as can be seen in the video. After all of this, it's time to show you the other ingredients. For this, I'll be using 2 stock cubes. I'll also be using 1 tablespoon of curry powder. I have to say this, to make fish pie filling very rich, flavorful and tasty, you need to be very generous with the ingredients in appropriate proportions. So 1 tablespoon curry powder, 1 tablespoon dried thyme, half tablespoon chili pepper, half tablespoon of salt, and half teaspoon of nutmeg powder. It's time to cook. I'll pour about 1/3 cup of cooking oil into my pot and pour my diced onions into the oil as soon as it gets hot. I'll stir very well and allow the onions fry for about 2 minutes on high heat. After this, it's time for the next major ingredients. The ingredients this pie filling is named after, which is the fish. Also, I need to say this, you can use any fish of your choice. I have chosen to use mackerel fish because I love the taste of mackerel fish in my fish pie filling. You can use hake fish, you can use croaker fish, any fish of choice. After mashing the fish to ensure that it mixes well with the onions, I'd go in with my diced carrots, diced potatoes, and I'll season everything very well with 2 stock cubes and the other ingredients I showed you much earlier in this video. After pouring everything into it, I'll give it a good stir. I'll add water and allow it to cook. As you must have noticed, this is an easy recipe, so you have to trust me on this. You are going to love the taste of this fish pie filling. So, dear foodie members, once again, welcome to my channel. All you have to do is to trust this process and an outstanding result is guaranteed. Kindly subscribe to my channel and be part of this amazing community. After adding some water, I'll give it a good stir. I'll cover the pot and cook until the potatoes are so soft that they can easily be mashed with my finger. And I'll show you what I mean. This is after cooking for about 25 minutes on high heat. Let me show you. My potatoes are soft. You can see how easy it is for me to just mash them and press them in the pot. So I'll proceed to use my spoon to mash up everything just to ensure that I have a consistency just as can be seen in the video. Now, here is one thing about this recipe. When I am making my fish pie filling, I like to make a lot. So even though I can't use everything for my fish pie at one time, I save the rest in the refrigerator or in the freezer to be used much later. And this process is what I have found to be much more straightforward for me and just makes cooking easy and nice. Okay, it's time to serve my fish pie filling. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, well, why not just subscribe? Because you've watched this video to this point, so I know that you have enjoyed this video so far. This is how delicious or how enticing my fish pie filling looks. But trust me, when you taste it, it is so delicious. I have to say this, it takes a lot of discipline to not finish this entire filling before actually using it to make fish pie. It is so delicious, it is so nice, and it is so lovely. And you know, one other thing that is nice is the fact that you're watching this video, you are onto my channel, and I just feel so nice. I feel so good that I am able to share one of my many recipes with you. And if you don't know, I like to let you know that I post new recipes every week on this channel. So click on that subscribe button and follow the online cook. I also have to let you know that I'll be leaving links of other easy recipes in the description box for you to enjoy. Have a lovely time. Bye.